Hi, everyone. We are at CGI and here today for the masterclass on knowledge management with Priyanka Padmini. Lovely to have you all with us. I'll give you a brief introduction to CGI and then an overview of Priyanka Padmini and her experience in this area and at CGI. CGI is a global IT and business process services provider, delivering business consulting systems, integration, and outsourcing services. And the online masterclass today is on knowledge management. A little bit about Priyanka Padmini, who will be presenting to you today. Priyanka is a co-member of the Intelligent Automation Platform team in CGI. Her primary responsibility is to track and manage the implementation of CGI's automation solution to clients across geographies. She also provides efficient onshore collaboration and risk management. Priyanka holds an engineering degree in electrical and electronics and comes with a rich experience of 15 years, of which 9 years have been with CGI. Her career has spanned across infrastructure support, knowledge management, and project and people management. As knowledge manager, she played a key role in the implementation and adoption of 1KM, a knowledge management solution across one of CGI's business units. Priyanka has worn different hats as senior support engineer, scrum master, knowledge manager, and team manager. Outside of work, she's a passionate Toastmaster, avid reader, traveler, trekker, and a mother to an active 10-year-old boy. So women who are attending today, restarters, currently working, all of you, and the men who are attending today from CGI, we encourage you to share this masterclass right now on all your WhatsApp groups for anyone who's interested in the area of knowledge management. It's a great way to re-enter the workforce. It's something that you should be looking at for the future of work. And I will, without further ado, give the stage to Priyanka.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the Knowledge Management Masterclass from CGI. As you are aware, knowledge management is a key feature in any business. For any business to succeed, knowledge management is the key. Why I say this is because Robert Noyce said, knowledge shared, knowledge is power. You all know that. But knowledge shared is power multiplied. So when we share our knowledge and we form that database where people can pick what they want when they want, it adds to the collective knowledge of everybody within a company, within an organization, and it helps all of us perform better together. So without further ado, let's start off with the masterclass. So as we just spoke, knowledge is power, knowledge shared is power multiplied. And the journey from this power to power multiplied is the one that we at CGI have decided and have made a commitment to make together. So let me take you through what were the issues, why we came up with what we came up with, and everything in between. So what were the knowledge management challenges that we faced initially? One was a reluctance to use the knowledge base itself. This could be for a lot of reasons, and I'm sure this is a prevalent problem in many organizations. This is because the knowledge management isn't user-friendly, it is not easily accessible. The second one is the quality of content in the knowledge base. What you put in is what you get out of it. So if the content is not up to date, if it is not relevant, if it is not technically viable, then people would definitely not go to the knowledge management tool at all. The third and the most critical that we faced was searchability. Be it any knowledge management tool, if the search results do not pop out easily, people would rather go to Google and do a search than search in their own knowledge management tools. And then it was limited content in the knowledge base. Then it was the management buy-in, which we got, the technology that we were going to use, and a few more hurdles that we could see. So I'm sure all of you have faced this scenario while working, which is like, everything is recorded in emails. So it's like, talk to me, Bernie, try to remember where you last put it. This is a reinvention of the wheel every single time you face the issue. You have to go back to your email, search where it is, but it is not at a central repository. And God forbid if the person who has that email is on leave, then we are done for. So this is the situation that we wanted to avoid, especially when we were working on, say, a very critical situation, a P1 situation. And that's where we decided to put in a new knowledge management methodology itself. So this was the solution for us, 1KM. One knowledge management solution, a centralized repository. The main aim was to remove the knowledge silos that had formed within people, between teams, and integrate everything onto a common platform. So 1KM gives us document management, web content management, image management, which can be very useful for billing invoices for teams that keep up these sort of records. Collaboration, there are workflows predefined and some things that you can define yourselves, content repository, and so on. What we observed when we did a pilot of this in a single team, it created very significant cost savings. When I say cost savings, engineers were taking lesser time to resolve issues, and we were providing that cost benefit to the customer. Obviously, it brought in higher degree of engineer efficiency and productivity. The service performance improved way beyond our expectations, and the quality of the resolution provided to the customer was also great. These were the things we observed in the very first pilot of 1KM. These are some of the features, and I'll take you through them one by one. So it's very popular, definitely within CGI, and very reliable as well. One of the best content management systems. It can manage data in any format, rich collaboration tools, dynamic development, scalability, compatibility, and the list can go on and on. So let's get into the details. Let me show you how it really looks like. So this is our 1KM portal. This is the general look. We have just taken small screenshots and pasted it here for you. But this is Active Directory integrated authentication. So when a CGI member logs on to their desktop, they can use the same credentials to log into the 1KM portal as well. There are very clear roles and responsibilities. So there might be some documents that the team wouldn't want to share with everyone in CGI. There might be some confidential documents. So it's very granular. People can give permissions at the file level, folder level, or at their own team site level. So this determines who can create, publish, or delete content. The USP of 1KM was it has a very robust search capability. It is a dynamic and an AND search, plus it is an in-text search. So most knowledge management or content management, I should say, portals offer us an OR search. So if you're searching for apples and oranges in the same line, it would search for any text that contains either apples or oranges. But with 1KM, it does an AND search. So it means that it searches for both apples and oranges, and you get very highly relevant results. And it also doesn't just search within the title of the document, but it goes deeper within, and it does an in-text search. There is obviously version control for files and folders, and this comes with an easy to set up wiki, blog, data lists. You can export those data lists, you can play around with the data and all of that. And the next thing we have is the document preview and search facility within the preview. So say in some content management tools, you will need to download the particular document before you can even view it. But here there is a document preview that is set up, and you can search within the preview as well. So there is no hassle of downloading that document. And we already spoke about the permissions. So that's 1KM portal in a brief for you. Let's go forward. And going forward, collaboration is one of the key reasons that we brought in 1KM. So when you log into 1KM, it's almost as if you get a personal virtual desktop where you can store documents that you would want to store, and this is visible only to you. And then there is the team dashboard. On the team dashboard, you can see the site activity. You can see all the documents that you have access to within the site. You could, there is an advanced search engine, as we spoke about. There is content tagging. You can manage discussions on a particular topic. You could set up a discussion topic. Say there is an issue where your Active Directory server is going down every 2 hours, and you would want to put that up to the entire team for a discussion. So you can start a discussion topic, and people will answer to that, and the discussions can go back and forth. Then there is a site calendar where you can put up important events for the entire team. It could be a team meeting, it could be a team dinner, could be any of those. And photos from that can be displayed as a site notice. Anything you want for the team can be done within this. So this is a small snippet of how the user dashboard actually looks. Now we come to the document library. So this is where all your data gets stored. This has version control, inline edit. So this is the preview that we spoke about as well, where you can see how the image is being resolved. You could see text, you can see Excel, PPT, videos can be played within the preview. It supports all formats of documents. So this is where we take you to show you, how it looks, how the look and feel is. What's the document hierarchy, how you can modify document properties either from the dashboard or one by one from within this view of the document library. We can also manage permissions. So as we spoke, there are different levels of permissions, and a site admin is in basically functioning in God mode for that site. So he or she can assign various roles to users, remove roles, and decide how the users interact with the content. The administrator can also track the user activities, who has deleted what, who has added what document, what changes have been made to these documents. All of these can be tracked. So document management, and we spoke of a lot about this. So social tagging, tag-based search, advanced search engine, archiving system, version control. These are a couple of features. We also have a web content management. The designing of sites is very simple. It's a drag and drop method. We can create sites for each and every team. There is version control of all sites. We can update the web content easily. We can also integrate with other web content management systems. All of this is possible through OneKM. We also spoke about image management. So we can organize the image files. We can search by author, category, etc. There are flexible workflows which can be integrated and used as and when necessary. So in case everything, all the images are in a particular folder, we can put in a workflow which says that as soon as a new image is uploaded to that folder, an email for approval has to go to the manager. Could be anything. All these can be put in. There is automatic correction of image files as well. So this is also a feature within OneKM. After running this for a lot of teams, almost 20 to 25 teams, we saw the need for an integration of a chat engine within the system. This was because OneKM had started being used for more, more things than we had initially intended it to be used for. So there are technical webinars that go on in CGI for the benefit of everybody. So if you are in service desk, but you want to improve yourself technically, there are these technical webinars that everyone in CGI can attend. And we integrated CGI's very own homegrown chatbot called CBot 360 into OneKM. So what that does is when somebody is giving a webinar and the content is hosted on OneKM, they can even chat with the presenter on using CBot 360. This is also, it is to facilitate live chat, and it is Active Directory integrated. So members can use their own login credentials. Direct chat with the webinar leader. We can create rooms, file and image sharing options, separate channels for different technical teams, member list moderation, public and private chat room. A lot of this is integrated into this. So these are some of the things that we have done with 1KM. And 1KM has now been integrated and implemented to a lot of teams. A lot of our teams use it as their run book. So the minute they come into work, what they do is they log into 1KM, and that's how their work starts. We have realized a lot of benefits from using a knowledge management system. The main one being improved efficiency of the engineers and better solutions being provided to the customer. The solution is quick and relevant, and the searchability is one of the major USPs that we have found. Using these things, if there is a critical situation that comes up, then the engineers do not face the hassle of whom to contact. What was done last time when the same issue cropped up? What was done at, and all this is happening at 3 a.m. in the morning. So the engineers have this ready-made user-friendly tool where they log into, search with either the server IP address, the server name, or if they knew the person who had handled it before, they could even search with that name, and the articles will pop up. But as we had discussed earlier, what you put in is what you get. So it is being made as a mandate that people record any critical situations that they're getting, what was the solution. It is also measured as a KPI for each person to see how much they have put in, what is it that they have contributed throughout the year. And it's all part of the process. So this is how we measure it. In order to enhance this measurement, we have also introduced something called analytics and reporting tool within 1KM. And what this does is this helps us in pulling out data related to every site, every team, every member, to see when they logged in or how many documents have they uploaded. What is the document growth from 1 month to the next or 1 week to the next? It gives us a lot of valid information, relevant information, which can be sliced, diced. And this has proven to be a very, very important initiative for us. And we have been able to drive it well so far, and we see a lot of benefit from it for us.
If anyone has any questions on the presentation for Ms. Priyanka, now's the time to ask, because we do have a few questions about the 1KM program that we can go over as well for all of you to listen and learn. But if you have any questions yourself, now's the time.
Okay, so the dashboard, what I was trying to say was there are two dashboards. One is the personal dashboard, where when you log in, you will be directed to your own personal dashboard. So that means to say that you have a virtual desktop of your own. So there you can store files and folders that you want, and they will be visible only to you. Instead of storing these on your own PC or desktop, you could do this on 1KM as well. There will be a limit, a quota for each user of how much space they are allocated. But if you're a member of a particular team, then you would also have access to that particular site of your own team, your team site. And there, whatever documents you have access to, either it could be read or edit or delete or create access, you will have all of those accesses and you will be able to see those as well. So does that make it a little more clearer to you?
So Priyanka, one question that we believe would bring a lot of light to the new initiative here, 1KM. What existing processes in any company need to be modified to incorporate 1KM activities?
It is not a process that needs to be modified. Of course, it involves installing and configuring 1KM, but it is also a culture change that is required. A culture in which people are ready to share knowledge, where people are ready to document what they have learned, because otherwise it becomes too person dependent. So if a person is on leave or moves from the company, then the knowledge also moves with them. We don't want those knowledge silos. We want it to be captured in a central place where everyone is able to make use of that. That's the change that we need for 1KM to be successful.
Understood. So people need to switch their way of thinking.
Yes,
almost.
absolutely.
This is a question. Are there any training programs provided to women joining after a break for this 1KM?
If you're joining the 1KM team, then yes, there would be a lot of trainings, including Java, PostgreSQL, Lucene, and on a lot of such topics, yes, there would be scripting training provided. Not just for men or women, but anybody who joins CGI has access to a huge portal of knowledge. It could be web-based trainings, online trainings. A lot of those are available to every member of CGI. CGI encourages that you ramp your skills, you upskill yourself and be ready for the job on hand.
We're assuming there aren't any questions. We're going to thank Ms. Priyanka for her time today. And there is one more person at CGI who would like to speak to you all. Mr. Anirban Mukherjee, who is the Director of Human Resources. And he will take questions on opportunities at CGI for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. A very warm welcome to CGI's webinar focused on women technologists who are a very, very valuable part of our talent community. I'm a part of the human resources group with CGI. I lead talent acquisition for APAC. And in case any of you have any questions with respect to CGI, with respect to opportunities in CGI, with respect to how CGI can help some of us who have taken a break and are looking to come back to work, I'll be more than happy to take them.
Are there any roles right now for women restarting their careers at CGI? Do you have those set aside?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we have got about 1,000 open roles, that are there across CGI, across multiple technologies, ranging from the web technologies like Java, the Microsoft technologies like .NET, SAP, middleware, all the way through to infrastructure skills in servers and operating systems, network, etc. So we have a large number of roles, and several of these roles, some of them you can see as hot jobs or hot skills, which are there in our partner Jobs for Hers website as well. And if you go and check out cgi.com, careers@cgi.com, you'll be able to see all our roles. So several of these jobs we have actually set aside really for women technologists to come in. Now, for those of the women engineers or technologists who had started work in the industry and for various totally understandable reasons taken a break, prioritizing certain aspects of their lives, and now they want to come back and also have a great professional career, we actually have some excellent programs. So if you, indicate your interest by actually applying against some of those hot jobs, or by writing a mail to the email ID that has been given, askdiversityandinclusion.india@cgi.com, that you are interested, we will actually reach back to you. We will understand where you are, what your baselines are, and what is the opportunity you are interested in. And therefore, to prepare for that, we actually have got certain scholarships with CGI available. And we'll be happy to actually extend those to you. And that includes the ability to train from home using courses that CGI owns or CGI has paid for on certain platforms. Some of them are in alliance with industry forums like NASSCOM, which CGI sponsors, and we will make that available to you. We will provide you with a mentor, and when you have kind of come up to pace a little bit on that, we will be more than happy to engage with you and see if you can fit into the job, right? So those are some of the opportunities that we have.
CGI is an IT company, but are there any non-tech roles that are on offer right now, or mostly tech? I mean, mostly they will be tech.
Mostly they will be tech, but we also have non-tech roles as well, and I'll give you a few examples. So while CGI is an IT services company, about 80% of our revenue comes from IT services. 20% of our revenue actually comes from products, right? And therefore, we have product analysts who are typically into the domain, functional analysts. These are really domains by industry verticals mostly, if they are to be non-tech. So you would have certain domains in oil and gas, manufacturing, retail, pharma, banking, insurance, and so on. And we are looking at functional analysis in those domains, healthcare and telecom, I need to add. And then there would also be certain roles in the area of PMO, program management, resource management. We would have roles in the corporate functions, in HR, recruitment, finance, legal, and communications. Those come readily to my mind. So we have got open roles in all of those, right? So among the non-technical roles. So I guess there's one question, as freshers, what will be our role? And there's another related question, what is the tentative onboarding time for the freshers or undergrads? So two kind of related questions, so I'll take them together. I think the first thing about CGI, which is special, is that we don't hire freshers en masse or in block, right? We don't treat freshers like a commodity, which some of the other organizations do because of their volumes, etc. When we hire a fresher, it is against a specific position. And even before you join, you will actually be put onto certain learning platforms, and you will be able to train on skills which are specific to the job. You'll be assigned a buddy and a mentor for that, right? And then when you come into the job and you start working on it, you will get more on-the-job training. In certain cases, you will go through a boot camp before you are expected to be fully productive on the job. And the training will cover functional domain, the training will cover fundamentals of IT, and the training will cover a specific technology skill or a combination of skills which are important for that particular project. Based on how you do in your training and on the job, some of you will also get an opportunity to actually do more advanced training, including on some of the emerging skills. And you will be able to, therefore, really have an opportunity to work at the cutting edge. However, every single job that we have where freshers are deployed are jobs which are billable and which, therefore, has got very rich work experience working with seasoned professionals, not only in India, but across the world, across 44 different countries, and we team together to deliver solutions to our end clients. And it's a fantastic learning experience, and it's a great culture. Those are some of the things, that are there for freshers. In terms of onboarding, we have got a large number of freshers whom we are going to hire, including hiring freshers out of campus, off campus as we call it. And I would strongly encourage you to keep your eyes open on the CGI career website, and you will have those fresher demands coming up. And in that case, you need to apply against it. And when you apply, we will guide you to some of our partners who have learning platforms or assessment platforms, and how you go through that and the subsequent interview process will determine, what kind of job you will get once you get selected, right? And the process, pretty much takes about 2 to 3 weeks from the time you apply to when you give the test on those platforms, which includes multiple choice and it includes automated coding, simulated environment testing on a skill of your choice. If you do not have those skills, we will actually train you up. We will look at people not necessarily from a computer science background. We will look at people from, mechanical, electrical, chemical. We will look at MTechs as well. And we will be happy to look at your aptitude and then give you a fundamental training, not necessarily, depend on what you have already performed on the coding test, because then we will actually give you a fundamental training. So both sides are open, and till the point of you applying to interviews, to an offer letter to you, and you joining, I would say it would be about 3 to 4 weeks.
There is a question about jobs for women restarters, but we have already answered that. This masterclass and session will be recorded, so do look back on it later because Mr. Anirban has answered it. However, a last question for you, sir. Do you accelerate women's careers within CGI consciously? And how would you do that to make sure that women are feeding into your leadership pipeline as well?
It's a very important point. So, as an organization, we absolutely subscribe to the well-established research in management that diverse organizations perform better, have higher revenue, are more profitable, are more innovative, have a more inclusive culture than those which are not diverse. And in the diversity scheme of things, diversity has many dimensions, but in India, gender diversity, for obvious reasons, is our main focus. And we aim to have women in larger numbers at all levels in the organization. And we have already achieved a lot of success in that over the last few years, and we intend to continue with that. We hire an equal or more number of women at entry levels and give them the right level of training and opportunity. We have a very strong program of unconscious bias and sensitization to that, and sensitization to women in the workplace, and having a diverse workplace and what is okay, what is not okay. Very strong internal compliance committee. And all of this creates a very safe and inclusive culture and environment to work in CGI. I need to add, CGI is also one of the organizations known for excellent work-life balance. We were recently awarded the #2 spot across all organizations by the Times Group, which is the leading media house in India, and based on surveys of candidates and employees, incidentally, not based on what we say. And finally, we have got leadership programs where exclusively for women, which actually help women to network, to build financial acumen, business acumen, to be a part of leadership teams one level higher, to have mentors, to be given handpicked assignments, and to be given training on emerging skills, digital skills, so that they actually are in a very good position to take up leadership roles as we move forward. And in that way, we would accelerate leadership hiring. We are also looking at women in leadership positions in the industry. Will there be any internship before joining? I think for the grads, that I talked about, there won't be any internship. You will join direct. However, for some of the colleges that we are going to, we sometimes, give an internship for up to 6 months. So it's like, this is for people who are still in the colleges and are passing out. And we give an internship where we say that in the 8th semester, instead of doing 5 or 6 electives, there's an agreement with the college that we will provide you industrial training, and that project will carry the credits equivalent to those courses. And therefore, you will come as an intern and work with us. So you not only get to earn more while you are doing your degree, but you also end up getting a lot of additional work experience and training, and typically understand CGI. So you have a head start when you are starting off your regular job. Typically this happens in a Jan to June kind of a time frame. But for the grads that I talked about, where I said that we will go to people who passed out in 2018 or 2017 and pick them up off campus now, and it takes just 3 to 4 weeks from the time you apply to the time the process closes if you get selected. For those folks, there's no internship. You will come in straight away as a member of CGI. You get stocks from day one. Every single member do, including graduates, and you will start contributing, maybe with a boot camp training, etc.
And for women returning to work, is there an internship process?
It is a case-by-case basis, right? So depending on how ready the particular individual is, if that person is like kind of 75% there and ready, we could have an arrangement where that person can come in, work certain hours, and do the rest of the training, and get to the point where they're good enough to be a regular member, and then they can just join, right? In some cases, of course, we would take a bet on that person and get that person to join straight away.
Okay.
In other cases, it could happen that that individual needs a little bit more time, in which case we'd probably just give the training and let the person come up to speed, and then we will think about either an internship or a full-fledged role in CGI.
And that segues into another question. Does CGI mostly have full-time roles, or do you do other types of roles as well, part-time and consulting?
What we do have in CGI is a lot of flexibility.
Okay.
And that's what gives us, a certain amount of work-life balance, which we are known for. But in CGI, the relationship between the manager and the individual is sacred, right? So it is all a function of that diet, right? And usually what we have seen, and this is particularly true for, returning mothers or nursing mothers, etc., when they are coming back, there's a lot of flexibility that is given, and there are discretionary ways of working that is agreed to, with the manager. So those kind of flexibilities are there.
Yeah.
What we and that includes maybe an ability to work certain days from home and things like that.
Okay.
However, what we don't have today is the concept of a part-time worker or job sharing, like where you can just kind of work 4 hours. We are actively looking at that policy, but we do not have that policy as yet.
Not implemented. All right. And if you could talk a little bit about some of the women-friendly policies that women at your company enjoy right now.
Okay, so I think the first thing that women do enjoy, and it's not a policy, I have to tell you, it's a culture. Okay, I think the CGI culture is very, very friendly. It is, rooted in our core value of respect. And, from that respect, which is driven across the organization, it creates a very non-intimidating, non-aggressive kind of a culture where the team is more important than the individual, the we is more important than the me. And I think it is that collaborative culture that is very, very important. Okay, it is meritocratic, okay, but it is very collaborative and very friendly. I also think that very honestly, because of the CGI model, and if you go and do a little bit of maths, you look at the way our share prices have moved up over a period of time over the last 10 years, including in the last 2 years. And if you look at the number of employees that we have, all of whom own shares, so we call them members. So the number of members we have and the revenue per member, it is significantly higher than most of the other IT services companies. Again, in part because 20% of our revenues are from products. Okay, so because of all these things, it allows us to have a business model which is a little bit more comfortable, I think. And that is really what is the secret sauce of CGI. Having said that, the other, what I would call the hygiene things, are all in place, which range from, transportation to office, home drop beyond certain hours, creche facilities, and a lot of focus on women's health. We actually have an organization called Oxygen, and they are focused on health of all employees, right? But they are particularly focused on the health of women's employees. So that extra bit, I would say, of care and concern for women, in terms of, medical coverage, annual checkups, focus on forming a group of women, doing a certain activity to become fit, okay, and various kinds of tests, etc., that are actually brought to the doorstep of the company. It could range from a hemoglobin test to a bone density test to a breast cancer examination, because women tend to ignore their health quite a bit, and they prioritize the family, and they don't take care of themselves so much. And getting that health facilities right to the doorstep of the employee in office, I think that's a very special CGI thing. Okay, I think there's a question around those who have been selected. When do we start in 2019? I think we need people to start as soon as possible. So for those folks who have been already selected in the campuses, in the colleges that we have visited, and we visit very hand-picked colleges, I need to add, you will shortly get your date of joinings out. And I think the bulk of the people would be joining somewhere around June. But I know that for certain colleges, if you can join earlier than June, we will be happy to have you. So please feel free to reach out through your placement cells and coordinators to the CGI campus team. Ashish and Jackson are there. So please feel free to reach out to them, and they'll be able to guide you better. But certainly no later than June, and probably earlier than June if all the exams, etc., of the curriculum has been covered already, right? So that is number one. Number two, for those who are coming in out of campus, well, I called out, it takes a period of about 4 weeks for you to kind of apply and then for that process to be closed. And we have people joining right through the year. So there are people joining in March, there are people joining in April, May, and so on. And we are hiring, because of our aggressive growth, we are hiring at a fairly rapid pace. So there's a question that, is there a returning program for non-tech women? The truth is there is not, okay? But having said that, if there is somebody who's interested, all you have to do is to write to the mail ID we have given, and I'll repeat it again, askdiversityandinclusion.india@cgi.com. Okay, please write to that email ID, and we will look at your profile and see if there is an opportunity that fits you. But is there a program like what I talked about that we have for women in technology? I don't think there is.
I think that we've covered quite a bit of what it takes to work at CGI and all that you get from this amazing company when you choose to join them and when you are onboarded with them. We thank Mr. Anirvan for his time today to answer all our questions. And we thank Ms. Priyanka for her fabulous masterclass on 1KM, which CGI has rolled out. And we thank all of you for being here today and for asking your questions, for taking part in this masterclass session. We ask that you do share this video onward with all your groups of women who are restarting their careers and within CGI as well. Even if you are a man attending this seminar right now, do share it with the women that you know who are looking to work again, who are in the workplace, and women who need to rise in their careers. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.